What you have as capital are these people around. The outgrowers, wanga goja kufuna wokoma, nga biri byogambye nti olumiro olufa nga ndowooza. Buli omu abeere creative ali wano, alabe nti wadde Mawu yagambye kino, yongera naawe okole ku research yo, olabe olina ky'oyinza okuleetamu naawe. So Mawu ali omu, bwe mubeera abantu bibiri, kitegeeza nti muba bangi. Kitegerekesa. So you can be creative. Ekirala. Why I like your idea. You look at the big picture, the 3-year strategy. How do we fit in a learning number? It that he has his mind on paper. Now outgrow. Do you have your mind on paper? Yes. Do you have even to be put the goal? Singa about that way. Now what we want is second. The system in Ghana. Sigama chirungi system of Ghana kubanga gundi otukoze ubinga tuina honorable minister tuina wa planning ate ebyuma no bichankalanya. Is not what I'm saying. Bifudeko nenga numbers azirina mu mutwe. You should have full passion. Mzungu agamba. If you want to be in it, be fully in it. Wherever you are, be there. Bwoba mubibera nadala mubi. Bw'oba mulungi beera mulungi so togamba nti kangenegezesa obumyu bubeereremu ddala. Give it your all in all. Kikuwa amaanyi okulowooza on how you can do it. So for us in a bank, we are ready to support so long as the risk is covered. Tugiyita credit risk, default risk, okutunyaga. Mawu yatusobola okukolagana naye kubanga gwe situkumanyi. Mawu yanagamba abange mbamanyi ate banguza nze. Bwe banansasulanga njazisisanga mu banka. Kiregerekese. Kati nze mbadde nsaba mubawe tugiyita trade finance. Kiregerekese. So I'm planning a product specifically for you. Reply on whatever I have come out with.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum.
Observed. Good evening. My name is Martin Mako. You'll allow me to speak when I've removed the mask because I may inconvenience you. I am from Private Sector Foundation Uganda, and in Private Sector Foundation Uganda, I work as coordinator for agriculture, agribusiness, and forestry. And the Private Sector Foundation is an apex association, is an association of associations and business corporations and different parts of the agencies of the government which support development. Private Sector Foundation is there with a mandate of representing, engaging, serving, and building the private sector. And what Mr. Mukasa is doing is not very far from what we are doing. In Private Sector Foundation, we say business growth is our business. So today we are talking about KALF RABBITRY. We are seeing a dream of achieving 3 tons of meat per day. Sometimes, if you look at a person, these days, what we have in the country is unemployment. Even what the director said, that he's having sleepless nights. The same way the president is having sleepless nights. I think when we look at how the government has been coming, it started with the Tandikwa, it came with Operation Wealth Creation, Prosperity for All. Now we have, there was a Myoga, there is parish development model. All these things, they have very good will to transform us, to see that Omuntu wa wansi also has some money in the pocket. And you know, whatever you do, the idea is to have the money or the dollars. Whatever we do, we all end up in the consumption area, in the money economy. How do we catch there? So to me, I want to say that I want to really appreciate the vision bearer of KALF RABBITRY. You are going very well because you are answering, you have seen the what question. Currently, we have what is the problem? The what is unemployment. And the why, we don't have clear ideas. Then we have the when. He has told us that within 3 years, we are going to be producing 3 tons of rabbit meat. And even knows the how by the outgrowers. That is a very important question. And you know, he's very committed. Now, I want to say that for us, a few years ago, we also looked at the question of the why. What is the problem? Is youth unemployment. And then how do we do it? We spoke to some people, those who have money. We said, we have this, but we have looked at if we can help our people in the country come up with some 4 sources of income, they can overcome poverty. You have, you know, in the manifesto that the doctor designed, I think we have the 4-acre model, where you have chicken somewhere, you have livestock, you have crops, you are doing things so that at the end of the day, you're not broke. Some people say that don't put all your eggs in one basket. But there is also one thing which is known by all successful people. They mention one statement, that one thing I do, that one thing I do. When you look at all the successful men, you always associate them. For example, there are names that when you mention, something comes to your mind. Like when you talk about Bill Gates, something comes to your mind. When you talk about Steve Jobs, now when you talk about Mr. Mukasa, to me, I know what comes in the mind is KALF RABBITRY, Camille. And I want to say that continuing, when we talked with them, we said, how do we help the young people? So the people of the MasterCard Foundation said they have a vision of creating 3 million jobs for Ugandans. And 3 million jobs, they want 70% women, because our country has the highest number of people who are ladies, and then men are few. But also, you know, women have some competitive advantage in some opportunities. We have got support. So they say we want 70%. And this venture here, it supports them because, first of all, women are, in most cases, women like sitting at home. They don't like things which disturb them so much. And that is why my sister was able to resign, so that she turns the compound home. And you can never have a business which is successful when you're not monitoring it. It is what you supervise that you get, not what you expect. I am sure I have not talked to Mr. Mukasa, but when I ask him, I think much of the time he spends it in the farm, and that's why it has grown. And so this is how it has come. Now, getting back to the issue of the MasterCard, we have something called the lead farm structure. And the lead farm structure is getting a farm that is doing very well, that can commit to create some amount of jobs for the youth. For example, we talked with Mukwano and they said they can provide 50,000 jobs to the youth. I don't know how many jobs can KALF RABBITRY provide. And then, so when you commit to that, as long as we see, so our business is now to come and see your business, and then we see, does it qualify? Can it give us the 100,000 jobs? It is open. And then we keep on working together. We work with the farm. We had a question last week, but one. We said, but what's wrong with the rabbit meat? Why is it not taking off? Yet it's a good business. And so we talked about, what about if we said we can promote? What about if there's market activation? Where, you know, there's this thing of
KFC, chicken tonight, everyone, it is the same chicken like what we have eaten in Skies, but the branding, the noise which has been made, among the we talk about sometime I read the Bible, and Jesus one time said that when you light a candle, you don't put it under the table, but you put it on top so that everyone can see it. And what you have done today is putting the candle on top, and no wonder we have made. I thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It is my first time to moderate, but you'll help me when so exam. Nginatandikira kuono ow'emirimu miliyoni 3. Oli mu vision yange mwotambulira. Because when I was at that airport, actually it was German. Yeah, nenda banga initially when I was starting, I have a recruitment company. It is called KHM. I want you to go and search about it. I started that company in 2013 in UAE. Then I started it in Uganda in 2015. I started it in Kenya in 2018. We have a branch in Saudi Arabia. That was in 2019. We have a branch in West Africa in Ghana. So we have been providing employment. So far now, KHM only, since 2015 up to now, we have placed more than 70,000 Ugandans in UAE. Now, to talk about agriculture, why I came up with this thing is because my target was employee. I need 1 million jobs. How I'm going to do that? I started with rabbits, because when I calculated down, I don't know, ngena bi mixinga. Mukama wange atuma mukuluta magamaga. Ngena kutuma nakuzo mwezi nga mukaga November. Invitation nabaweereza abakulu abo banyigenyigemu bajje ku farm balabe waka. So what I wanted to add on his is when I sat down to develop 1 million jobs, we developed 5 projects. Is again of providing these 1 million jobs. I know private sector MasterCard is a big thing. So in my small ones, I will help them provide 1 million jobs. How? When we did business plan of these 5 projects, we have chicken, we have goats, we have fish, then we have rabbits, and we have BSF. BSF is black soldier flies. When we rear rabbits, rabbits only, one in meat, we're going to have a slaughterhouse, which will be slaughtering 2,000 rabbits per day. How many jobs are those? We are going to have, he said, you talked about KFC. We're going to have rabbit kitchen all over Africa. But we'll start here, slowly by slowly. How many jobs are those? Because rabbit is white meat, it is tasty meat, it is good meat. Olaba abantu bajja kamulali ne bamulwanira atole nyama ya kamyu. But what is missing is, I was telling a group of youth last time that everyone cooks chicken better than KFC. But why are they not selling like KFC? So it all goes back to the business setup, how you set up a company. If you read the book, it's called The Second Chance. Robert Kiyosaki talked about how a company is formed. You read the business, the company triangle. It has 8 elements. There is leadership, then there is team, there is mission, then down there is cash flow, then there is communication, then there is systems, then there is legal, then the product. Product is the last thing. So people are focusing on the product and forget these 7 elements, which are the key. Because if you don't have cash flow, if you don't have communication, if you don't have the systems, you see, I'm running companies in 7 countries, but I cannot be there all the time. So because there are systems. I have a restaurant in Dubai. So when you don't have systems, you don't have legal, there is no communication, there is no mission, there is no leadership, there is no team. To manage that, it is very hard for you to do it. It is very hard for you to manage more than one company. So, why are we not selling like KFC? It's because of those 8 elements. If you don't have them, it will be very hard for you. If you don't have the systems, the legal, the communication, the cash flow, the vision, the what, the why. Actually, company is formed with why, what, it's formed with why we do what we do, what you do, and how you do it. So the why is very important. You read Simon Sinek's book, it is called Start With Why. You'll have all those details there. So the 1 million job we are going to create in agriculture is with these 5 things. And they all rotate around the rabbit. Because the meat, what the meat can produce, how many jobs are those? You're talking about why we're not having meat in the stores. So how many jobs can meat only produce? That is 1. 2, when we get to skin, you go to Italy and ask about rabbit skins, how much, how expensive it is. So how many skins are we going to get per day? Put that aside. When you go to the droppings, they have NPK. So we get droppings, Isma will tell you. We get droppings, feed them to BSF. BSF are black soldier flies. Those are maggots. Those are flies that make maggots, which maggots have 60% protein and 30% fats. So when we get droppings from the rabbits, feed the BSF, because the BSF, when we did these business plans, we are looking at the challenges. People who are in BSF, their challenge is getting organic waste. So the organic waste is not easy to be got from anywhere. So when we have the waste, the droppings from the rabbits, because we're going to be collecting them from outgrowers. So when we have the droppings from the rabbits, we would have solved the problem of feeding BSF. So the droppings, we feed them to BSF. Then the BSF, the flies, they give us the maggots. Then the maggots, we dry them. After drying them, we mash them. Then we have made protein. There will be no more consumption of human food in animal feeds, because we'll be replacing soya, sunflower, mukene with the protein from the maggots. And we will be replacing also coconut, which is also fats, because we are putting fats and the protein in feeds. So when we have maggots, it is protein from waste. It is the rabbit still going to make that. So these 3 million jobs, we can create them easily with KALF and Kapeka only. So think about another 3 million jobs with another entity, because we have 45 millions to look after. So 3 million jobs, we can have them covered comfortably. The other thing was what you talked about being blessed. The Minister of Finance is my mother, if you didn't know. The Director of National Planning Authority is my neighbor. We happen to stay in the same area. So these people are also privileged. The other thing you talked about, eyokufuna sente. Research because I don't take riba in all my businesses, and I don't encourage any of you to take riba. Because once you have clients, business is built up by clients. It is clients that give you money, not the bank. Because the bank will also look at your bank statement, not so. Who makes the bank statement? Who makes the bank statement? It is the clients, because they deposit money on our account. Then you see a bank statement. Is it not clients? So if you need money, get more clients. The bank will come on its own to give you money free of charge, even under your terms. If you need money grants from the government, you get clients. Once they see now KALF is moving, the government will come to attach to it, because we are moving. Because we have clients. You want something which is moving. Won't the government come? They will come. And we have called them today, they have not come, but they will come after seeing this. I know that. Then the other thing is, we have youth that are Muslims. Nganze. Abatagenda kulya looni. So mukama waffe National Planning Authority mutuyambe mutuplaningira akantu omukulu ono kagambye. Kubanga sente za loan tetugenda kuzitwala kuba n'abazitutte bali mu kaaba. Era mbaga sente za loan temuzitwala. N'abazitutte bali mu ki? Tupushinge banka zino tubaterewo embeera etuwa ssente nga teziri mu loan. Ntegeerekese. Aha. Kirala yogedde ku supervision. My farm is monitored 24 hours because of her. Someone told me, someone came to the farm and they said, "Hey, eno farm eringe mazewe emyaka 10." Ne mugamba you compare. Emazewe emyaka 10 ogende buli weekend ennaku 2. Si kyekyo? Eyange njibeerako buli lunaku essaawa 2 mu mmeka. So bwe tubala essaawa z'omala ku farm yo nange zemmala ku yange tezisobola kufaanagana. Kuba eyange ninawo surveillance camera ebeerawo 24 hours nga weeri because it has the same vision nga gye nnina. Ekyekyanalenjera okwogera ku myoga that parish model is bannange teri bwegassi okuleka nga buli ku kintu kimu. Bwe tubanga ono agenda Kampala, ono agenda Mbalala, ono agenda Masaka ne tugamba nti twegatte ffenna tugende, tuba tulagawa. Tuba tetulina gye tulaga. Si bwe kitegeeza? But bwe tuba nti ffenna tugenda Kampala, it means we will all go to Kampala and we will reach. That's why people who come to me and say, no, for us we want to buy rabbits. I ask you, we buy rabbits for what? If you don't have any vision, we don't sell you rabbits. That's why we're only selling rabbits to our outgrowers who have understood our vision. And this is the group that will take us towards our vision. Because fenatuina omukuluro gumu. Jetulaga yewa. It is like someone who has been in Nansana. Ngenda Kampala, naye nkwatawa. Kanti oba ogenda Kampala, gende Kampala wuli. Ajja kwanguyira okola ki? Naye bw'omala galinyira buli muntu ojja kulinyira agende Hoima. Obeere ng'ozze mu negative y'olugendo. Ntegeerekese. With those few things bwe nayagadde okwogerako, so ayinayo kyaleeta ky'ogamba abakulu bano nga bwe mbadde advised, next time ngenda kuba professor moderating.
Thank you. Private Sector Foundation, where do you get all this information from? It seems you have a lot of information that benefit people, but we don't know where to find it.
Okay, thank you. Don't know whether we shall get more questions or we answer one by one.
Abebibuzo mwanike mikono.
Yeah, let's get.
Yes.
I wanted to ask the representative of National Planning Authority. I am aware that there have been a push to have the Islamic banking system in Uganda as actual loans in Uganda, from what I've experienced, bring people more down than bring them up because of very high interest rates and a poor business environment. Maybe it's the fault of the people, but I know very, very many people in trouble with loans. And I would think the Islamic banking system should also be given a chance to see if it can make its contribution. Why is it not put in place?
Thank you very much. Mine goes direct to the national planner. Where could the microfinance comes in such issues to such a people that are doing a great job? The microfinance.
We want to say that, you know, currently there is something in space, what he was explaining. The one who has money, then the one who doesn't have money. So the bank comes in place. Now, also, sometimes those who have information are looking for those who want it. Those who want information are looking for those who have. But where should they meet? It's in such gatherings that we are able to disseminate, that we are able to share and discuss. And that's why always
when you're called for a function for such a thing, please come, because a lot of information comes. And I want to say we have more information when you come at our secretariat. When we share, we discuss, we are willing to work together. We are there. We know that this country, the backbone, 90% of the economy stands by the private sector. And so we are always looking for it. But just because we are at the apex, we have over 1 million associations in our docket that we have to look to. So sometimes we end up at apex, but we are now going to the region. We now want to go down now. Like what the director said, that we are now leaving the boardrooms now. Go down so that we meet our people and we see that we move in the same strategic direction. I thank you.